Trade reports are heating up as the Yankees are linked to surprising targets as the team is consistently looking for answers with multiple reports swirling this first week in July. We'll break down all of these targets for the Yankees at the deadline and how it is crucial for Brian Cashman to nail this position at the back end of the month. What's going on, guys? Alex Brooks back here on Yankees Digest. Wanted to give a big shout out to over 7,500 subscribers on YouTube. Chris and I are putting in so much effort to get you guys videos every day of the week on Yankees content, and we really appreciate the support. But for the 74% who aren't subscribed, guys better hit that subscribe button. Join this great group of people who have been subscribed. Also, comment down below and join in on the conversation as we're going to get so much content out to you as trade deadline season is now in full swing. And we do really appreciate the support. But let's get right into this video as the Yankees are making calls for third baseman help at the ahead of the trade deadline. That was Jon Heyman's report as he wrote an article yesterday. And the team really believes that Jazz Chisholm belongs at second base. That's what Yankee fans have been screaming at the TV about. Jazz Chisholm's normal position is at second base. Appreciate the effort that he has done in being at third base, but there is a glaring hole at second base for the New York Yankees, not only just defensively, but offensively, and being able to get someone in there at third base, move Jazz to second. It'll put a lot of Yankee fans' minds at ease, including myself, and definitely something that the Yankees need to take care of at the deadline. And when looking at these potential fits that Jon Heyman was saying, he said that the Yankees are linked to Ryan McMahon, Brian Hayes, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Luis Rengifo as possible trade deadline fits. So all of these guys come from different backgrounds. They have different stats so far this season, different trends. We'll break down all of this coming up real soon, but I just wanted to give that out to you guys. Who out of these four do you think makes the perfect sense for the Yankees to have the most success at the second half of the season? So give me your guys' comments down below. And when we start off with Luis Rengifo so far this season, he has a great defensive glove, but he just doesn't have much pop in his bat. He only has 4 home runs on the season, 20 RBIs, and with 63 hits and a 230 batting average so far this season. This guy, he will get on base, but he's more of a slap hitter. He's more of in the Yankees realm, he is just a great defensive piece that the Yankees can have, but he is going to be someone who is going to excel everywhere in the lineup, but the only thing that he doesn't really excel at so far this season with the Angels is the leadoff spot, and that is definitely a problem for the Yankees so far this season. Paul Goldschmidt was there, and he was doing well the beginning of the season, but he's fell off a little bit as of late. They've tried Ben Rice up there, but I feel like they want to get back to the guy like Gleyber Torres and even Anthony Volpe as of early 2024 when he was getting on base at a consistent clip. And for Luis Rengifo, he definitely has that versatility, not just defensively with being able to play all the infield positions, but also his bat. He's a switch hitter, definitely someone that can be really enticing for Brian Cashman to bring onto this team. And having a switch hitter in this lineup, it'll add to Jason Dominguez. It'll be a lineup, a saver for Aaron Boone, and definitely someone that's interesting moving forward. And Mark Feinstein, he said he talked about Luis Rengifo a little bit more, as he said on MLB.com, third base has been an issue for the Yankees all season, especially since Oswaldo Cabrera suffered a season-ending injury in mid-May. New York's third baseman ranked near the bottom of the league in most offensive categories, and that's with Jazz Chisholm Jr.'s solid numbers during his time at the hot corner. New York could also look for a marginal upgrade in the infield with somebody such as Andujar or Luis Rengifo. That was Mark Feinstein on MLB.com. And yeah, definitely having the defensive issues. That's one of the reasons why they are linking Luis Rengifo. He's on the Angels right now, and he has been coming on as of late, so definitely an interesting prospect for the Yankees to pursue at the deadline. And another guy that the Yankees are linked to is Ke'Bryan Hayes. We've talked about him on this channel before. He has definitely been hot as of late. He's had 6 hits in his last 5 games when he had a 3-hit performance against the Mets on Sunday. One of the things that jumps out to me, he has a better OPS and slugging percentage than Luis Rengifo, but the numbers don't really match it so far this season. He has 2 home runs and 29 RBIs. He has a little bit more stolen bases, but the thing is that really pops out to me when talking about Ke'Bryan Hayes is that he has a lot of control. He signed through 2029, 8 years, $70 million in his contract, and he has a 2030 team option. So he has some control when you're talking about getting Ke'Bryan Hayes, someone that the Aaron Boone and the Yankees can mold into the third baseman. You already see that he's already a Gold Glover, so definitely someone who has been an enticing trade deadline piece for the Yankees and the Pirates. They're looking to rebuild a little bit. Don't think it's going to take a lot to get Ke'Bryan Hayes. Maybe a mid to low prospect to get him, but definitely an interesting prospect for the Yankees to pursue. And when talking more about Ke'Bryan Hayes, this is Christy Acker at Yahoo Sports. That number 601 OPS is glaring even for a Yankees team currently trying to patch holes at third base. Hayes has never posted an OPS over 762 and has dealt with injuries in recent seasons, but there's no question about his defense. And the Yankees, who have watched throws sail and gloves fumble all season, clearly value that. And that's the thing with most of these guys. Most of these guys are not going to have a 300 average. They're not going to have over 100 hits. They're going to be guys who have the defensive metrics that can really help this team. You already have the bats with Aaron Judge. You already have the bats with Ben Rice. You have consistency with the batters. It's just with the defense, that is going to be something that the Yankees really need to pursue going into this deadline. And moving over to another guy, when we talk about Ryan McMahon, Ryan McMahon is a guy who is not having the best season offensively. He has a 213 average. He has 12 home runs, so he's definitely using more pop. But you look at his batting average; it's very glaring so far. He's a lefty batter. He has a lot of pop. His average has definitely gone down this season. And when we look at from last year, he was a 2024 All-Star who's been one of the bright spots for the Colorado Rockies so far this season. He is 30, and he is signed to a big contract like Ke'Bryan Hayes. Not too big, but it definitely is a little bit more control, so it might be a little bit more that the Yankees have to give. But his on-base percentage and OPS are way better than Rengifo and Hayes. I've seen that a lot of Yankee fans kind of value Ryan McMahon a little bit more than all of these other guys, just because he's been that bright spot for the Colorado Rockies. A little bit more on McMahon was Alvin Garcia on Heavy Sports. According to Heyman, New York has reached out to the Colorado Rockies regarding McMahon's availability. He currently ranks 8th among MLB third basemen with a .7 defensive WAR, and he's one of the few bright spots on the struggling Colorado roster. And it's definitely been someone who has really excelled for Colorado so far this season. He as I mentioned before, his on-base percentage and OPS are way better than Hayes and Rengifo. Someone who can really come in and I feel like can gel with the guys. He's 30 years old. He's not too young, and he has that veteran presence, and he's helped a struggling team, and he'll definitely feel better to be in pinstripes. So another guy that the Yankees could go for is their former teammate, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And when we're talking about IKF, his batting average really sticks out here. 277 batting average, 22 RBIs, has a homer on the season and 10 stolen bases, has the best WAR out of all of these guys on that I've mentioned. He falls right around average with on-base percentage, and his 277 batting average so far this season could really help the bottom of the lineup, and also with his defense. So he's kind of like all around. He's got the bat, he's got the defense, and he's also got the average when it comes to the bottom of the lineup. He's on a 1-year deal, so definitely not a lot you have to pay for when we're talking about getting Kiner-Falefa. And another thing that's very underrated for IKF is that he's gelled with guys on this team before. Judge, Stanton, like he definitely is comfortable in that lineup. He's used to Aaron Boone, used to how he manages the game. So he definitely is someone that's very interesting out of all of these prospects, and someone who can also play the outfield. So if somebody gets injured, I know the outfield is a logjam at this point, but having someone who can play third base and have that outfield flexibility, just like Jazz Chisholm, but he's more of a infielder right now. Definitely very interesting when talking about Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And another thing that was talked about for IKF is Ryan Garcia in Yahoo Sports. The Yankees are bad on the bases and with the glove in the infield. And while an 85 WRC plus does nothing of note for the offense, he can convert grounders into outs and take extra bases when needed. Furthermore, he's a free agent at the end of the season and would be cheap to acquire from the Pirates. So the Yankees might be able to scoop him up with ease. And that was Ryan Garcia. And definitely someone who I really want the Yankees to bring back. I mean, he's a great character guy, great locker room guy, and he can definitely he's someone that the Yankees can root for, fans can root for to come back to this team. So definitely interesting. What do you guys think about IKF coming back to the Pinstripes? And another thing that I just saw was with Luis Rengifo, Ryan McMahon, and Brian Hayes. Luis Rengifo doesn't have a lot of contract to him, so he's definitely a cheap option when talking about Rengifo. And yeah, so all four of those guys, just breaking down who out of all these four guys that you think that the Yankees should pursue at the deadline. Definitely some interesting options when it comes to offensive and defensive metrics. Want to hear your guys in the comments, but yeah, that's going to be another video on Yankees Digest. Appreciate all the support, and go Yankees.